Hi and welcome to Chemipedia Chemistry classes for 11th and 12th standard. So in this video, I'm going to discuss about pseudo first order reaction. It's nothing but a second order reaction which can be altered to a first order reaction by taking one of the reactant concentration in excess. Yeah, second order reaction in which one of the reactant concentration is taken in excess, then that reaction can be changed into first order reaction. Right? Such reactions, what we call it as pseudo first order reactions. Okay, right. But for example, we have two reactants in a chemical reaction, so that we expect that reaction to follow second order, which means we expect the rate of that reaction to depend concentration of both the reactants. But in such reaction, if any one of the reactant concentration is taken in large excess, that is, if you take one of the reactant in excess quantity, then the rate will be depending upon the concentration of other substance only. Okay, such reactions are what we call it as pseudo first order reaction. Okay, so here it looks like a second order reaction. By taking concentration of one reactant excess, it is changed into first order reaction. So that's what we call pseudo first order reaction. Okay, false first order reaction is not exactly, it's not a real first order reaction. Looks like second order but behaves as a first order, isn't it? Such reactions we call pseudo first order reaction. Okay, right. Now let us see some example for pseudo first order reaction. Okay, the first example is acid hydrolysis of ester. Acid hydrolysis of ester. Okay, right. Now here, so I have given the equation. So CSV, an ester is hydrolyzed, reacts with water in presence of acid catalyst. It's nothing but acid catalyst symbol H plus. So as a result of hydrolysis, that ester is giving a carboxylic acid and an alcohol, isn't it? Right? Now here the ester what we use is nothing but methyl ethanate. Methyl ethanate, right? A product formed between methanol and ethanoic acid, so it's nothing but methyl ethanate. Okay, which on hydrolysis with water giving a carboxylic acid, ethanoic acid, and an alcohol, methanol. Okay, right. Now here the reactants are ester and water. Reactants are ester and water, whereas H plus acid is a catalyst. Okay, so catalyst concentration does not change, so that it cannot influence rate. Now let us consider the two other reactants. One is ester, another one water. Okay, right. Now suppose if water is taken in large excess, if we take the quantity of water in excess, then there will be no significant change. There will be no much change. There will be no considerable change in the concentration of water during hydrolysis. So which means the concentration of water remains almost constant, which means the concentration of water before the hydrolysis of ester and after hydrolysis of ester remains almost constant. So that let us assume the concentration of water is remaining same, isn't it? If concentration of one substance remains constant in a chemical reaction, then that cannot influence the rate, isn't it? So that while taking water in excess quantity, the concentration of water is assumed to remain constant, so that it cannot affect the rate of this hydrolysis of ester, so that the rate of this reaction will be influenced by only the other substance, that is rate of the reaction depends upon only concentration of the ester. Okay, right. So now it looks like a second order reaction. By taking one reactant in excess quantity, we alter the rate as a first order, isn't it? So that this is acting as a pseudo first order reaction. Okay, right. So there is the exact definition of pseudo first order. A second order reaction is converted into first order using excess concentration of water. Okay, right. So now for the above ester hydrolysis, the rate law can be written by this way. Okay, that is rate is equal to rate constant K. Rate constant K, this is the rate law actually, into concentration of the two reactants. One is ester, another one is water. Okay, but as I discussed earlier, we use concentration of water in excess. That is, we take excess quantity of water. For example, for hydrolyzing 1 mole of ester, we take water quantity about 1 liter. So, which means compared with 1 mole of ester, the concentration of water is excess. Okay, right. So that if water concentration is present excess, then it will not affect the rate of the reaction. So that now the rate law can be altered as rate equal to K dash into concentration of ester alone. You can have only ester concentration because water concentration remains constantly, so that the concentration of water term you can neglect and you can write K dash instead of K. Okay, here the K dash is nothing but pseudo first order rate constant. What do you call? Pseudo first order rate constant, which is nothing but product of K and concentration of water. So there is nothing but product of K and H2O concentration. Okay, so this is one example for pseudo first order reaction. So what we call it as hydrolysis of ester. Okay, right. Let us understand clearly with another example. So acid hydrolysis of sucrose. Even the hydrolysis of sucrose in presence of acid catalyst also an example for pseudo first order reaction. Okay, right. Now this is the reaction C12H22O11 is nothing but the formula of sucrose which on hydrolysis on reaction with water in presence of a catalyst. H plus seems symbol for acid, isn't it? This acts as a catalyst. The acid may be either dilute HCl or dilute sulfuric acid. Okay, right. Sucrose as a result of hydrolysis, it is giving glucose and fructose. So both are having same molecular formula C6H12O6. Okay. Right. Now actually here we have three substances. In this reaction we have three substances. One is sucrose, another one is water, the third one is acid, isn't it? So that we can write rate law for the above reaction as rate equal to rate constant K3 into concentration of all the three substances what we use initially. There is concentration of sucrose, concentration of water and concentration of acid. Okay, right. Now here what is the role of acid? So here acid acts as a catalyst. So what is catalyst? Now catalyst is a substance which remains unchanged. Catalyst is a substance which remains unchanged in its mass as well as chemical composition, isn't it? So that there will be no significant change in concentration of acid what is used in the sucrose hydrolysis, because that acid is acting as a catalyst. When the concentration of acid remains constant, then it cannot have any influence over the rate of this particular reaction. Okay, right. Then the second one, water. So as I said already, generally for hydrolysis reaction, so we take excess quantity of water, isn't it? For example, hydrolyzing this 1 mole of sucrose, we take water about 1 liter. How much we are taking? 1 liter water. That is, for 1 mole of sucrose hydrolysis, we use 1 liter of water. And even in case of water also, there will be no significant change in concentration before and after the hydrolysis. So which means even the water also will not influence the rate of this ester hydrolysis reaction. So acid does not affect rate because it is catalyst, remains unchanged in its mass concentration. Then water also will not influence the rate because water concentration is used in excess. Even in case of water also, no much change in concentration. So we assume water also remaining constant. Water also has no impact on rate. So then what else left out? Only ester. Only sucrose. Therefore, the hydrolysis of sucrose reaction rate will be influenced by only concentration of sucrose. So that is how it acts as a pseudo first order reaction. Okay. So actually it is looking like a third order reaction. But it behaves as first order reaction, isn't it? So that's what we call it as pseudo first order reaction. Okay. So let me explain why the concentration of water is not affecting rate of this reaction. So as I said already, for 1 mole of sucrose hydrolysis, how much water we are using? 1 liter water, isn't it? Whereas 1 liter of water is almost equal to 1 kilogram water, that is 1000 gram water, isn't it? Now let us calculate the number of moles of water present in 1 liter. Okay, right. Say there is 1000 gram, isn't it? 1000 gram of water. When you divide that 1000 gram by 18 gram, which is nothing but molar mass of water, you get number of moles. Therefore, number of moles in 1 liter of water is about this much, 55.55 moles, which means for hydrolysis of 1 mole sucrose, how many moles of water we are using? We are using about 55.55 moles use. Okay, right. But generally 1 mole of sucrose required 1 mole of water only for its hydrolysis. So when we use 55.55 moles of water, among that 55.55 moles only 1 mole water will be utilized for the sucrose hydrolysis, isn't it? So that after the reaction is completed, 54.55 moles of water. How much? 54.55 moles of water left unreacted. Okay, right. But now when you compare the initial concentration of water 55.55 moles, then concentration of water remain after the reaction 54.55 moles. No much difference in the concentration. That is the reason why we assume the concentration of water remaining constant, and I said the concentration of water has no impact on rate of the chemical reaction. Okay, so that the other substance only which is left out is nothing but sucrose, so that the rate is affected only by concentration of sucrose alone. Okay, so that rate depends upon concentration of only one substance, so it behaves as a first order reaction. What we call it as pseudo first order, because there are 3 substances but rate depends only concentration of one substance, so that it looks like third order, behaves as first order. So pseudo first order reaction. Okay, right. Now I write the rate law as, so initially I wrote rate law, rate equal to rate constant K3 into sucrose concentration into water concentration and acid concentration, isn't it? Then water excess, no influence over rate, acid catalyst, no influence over the rate, so that we can have only concentration of sucrose in the rate formula. Okay, so that the rate law can be written as rate equal to K3 dash into concentration of sucrose alone. Okay, so that which means that rate of this sucrose hydrolysis will be depending upon concentration of only one substance, sucrose. Okay, so that it is a pseudo first order reaction. Okay, right. And here you can consider K3 dash as a pseudo first order rate constant. Okay, initially we wrote K3, that is supposed to be considered as third order rate constant actually, because reaction looks like third order, so that we give K3. K3 is the third order rate constant, isn't it? So finally we are using K3 dash, which is nothing but pseudo first order rate constant. Okay, right. Thank you.